So as you guys can tell, today we are wearing Crazy Person Shirt 2.0. I don't know what it is about these kinds of shirts that are all patchy and weird. I love them. So last night, for the first time in what felt like forever, I went to a sports game. I had not gone to any sort of live sporting event other than League of Legends stuff ever since I started getting into League of Legends. The last time I went to a sports event live was when I went to a Reds-Cardinals match like 4 or 5 years ago. But last night, I went to the Mets game. The Mets played the Reds, and it was an amazing match. I mean, the Mets are just on another level compared to the Reds. They started the match off 12 runs to nothing. Then the stadium started playing Darude Sandstorm, and the Reds made a little bit of a comeback where they got 5 runs, probably thanks to Darude. But it was really great to go out, watch the ball game, have a few beers and hot dogs. It was a great time. I kind of missed it, but it also kind of reminded me something about League of Legends and how far League of Legends has really come as an esport. Probably one of the greatest moments I've had watching a sporting event live in person, or a traditional sporting event, I guess I should say, is watching that Reds-Cardinals match that I mentioned earlier. That was the last baseball match I went to. What happened in that game was it was just such a thrilling conclusion. It stuck out in my mind forever. The year it happened, the Reds were playing pretty damn well, and it was a really important match. I think it was pretty close to October, and was one of the matches that kind of decided whether they would win their division or not. I think they won their division that year, but anyway, what ended up happening was the match was incredibly close and would end up going into extra innings. During the top of the 10th inning, I think the Reds would score 2 runs, and then in the bottom of the 10th, the Cardinals started to have a bit of a comeback, and then they scored 1 run themselves. If I'm remembering the match correctly, the way it ended was there was a deep pop fly down into left field, and a guy from second base rounded third and headed home. The Reds threw him out at home plate, and as the umpire just, he made that whole out sign where he just sort of punches the air, the entire stadium stood up and erupted in cheers. I don't remember the details of the game or how exactly everything happened. I just remember seeing that guy round third, everyone move to the edge of their seat, everyone's holding their breath, and then seeing the umpire call him out. Everyone just cheers. It was one of the most exhilarating moments and one of the craziest atmospheres in a sporting event that I've ever been to. That's something that's really, it sticks with you for the rest of your life. Seeing a crazy sports moment happen live in front of your face is one of the craziest things that can happen. And the reason I bring that up is because I am pretty confident that at this point, people can't really say that League of Legends isn't a real sport just because it's a video game or what have you. There have been a few moments like that baseball game in my life where I just remember feeling so exhilarated and having such a ridiculous feeling where you don't even know what's going on in your real life because you're so caught up in the moment. Seeing the Packers win the Super Bowl, Brett Favre play live, or an incredible finish to just a really close and exciting game. I've had a few moments like that, and I've had just as many League of Legends moments as I've had any traditional sports moments. The odd thing about League of Legends when you compare it to traditional sports is the fact that it's a lot harder actually to follow teams, especially follow them live unless you live in Los Angeles. TSM isn't based out of New York, and with CLG based out of Los Angeles, and then Teammate based out of Denver. No, they all just play at the LCS studios based out of Los Angeles or whatever the league is around the world. Because of that, going and watching a thing happen live is a pretty big deal and a little bit harder of a thing to do. I mean, if you're going to go watch the NALCS finals, you got to plan out your trip, you got to buy tickets, you got to buy a plane ticket, you got to buy a hotel room and all that stuff. You got to fly to New York and then deal with the traffic and then find your hotel, get to your hotel, unpack, relax a little bit, find something to eat, and then eventually deal with all the crowds and everything of going to the live event. It could be a pretty big hassle and not the best experience if you go in with a not too good mindset. But going to the NALCS finals and watching CLG beat TSM with the crowd on the edge of their seats, so excited to see what happens next, is such an exhilarating experience that I mean, the atmosphere at the NALCS finals was better than the atmosphere at any traditional sporting event that I've ever been to, but that might just be because I live in Cincinnati. But the point of all this being, the atmosphere that you get when you go to a soccer bar in Seattle to watch the World Cup, or when you go to any sporting bar or any sports event, is the exact same atmosphere you get when you go watch League of Legends with a huge group of people, or you go watch a League of Legends event live. I mean, it is the same level of intensity. You get the same same atmosphere, if not a greater experience. We are so passionate about this game and so excited at the opportunity to watch it live and the opportunity to see some of the most incredible best play in the world. We really have come far, and I think League of Legends events have provided me with some of the greatest memorable experiences that are on par with any other sport out there that I'll probably remember for the rest of my life. Anyway, though, thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will, of course, see you all tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.